I'll let you guys in a moment. I want more people to get here, and I'll introduce you. How do I pin it? Nothing ever works the way I want it to work here. uh, we got 6 people. All right, I'll let y'all in. All right. Hey.
Hey, why can't anything work the way I want to? It's like our fucking life saying.
Every day.
I'm like, whoa, why can't this just work for me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's been like the day to day, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Rolling with it, always.
We feel you on that. We feel you on that.
How are you guys doing today?
We're good. We had a good day. I was in the lab most of the day. Made a bunch of balms, filled like 60 tinctures. We were filling capsules like a couple hours ago too. KB was crushing everything else on the logistics side. So all good day. How about you?
Good. What did I do? Zoom meetings. I did take a nap. I lied and said I had a conference call, but I was just having a conference call with the astral plane. You know what I mean?
Well done. Well, dude, after your hike yesterday, your mega detour, I would be snoozing too.
Yeah, that was so bad. And it's like, I actually, you know, I know we're going to be talking about CBD, but I actually always bring CBD with me because when I was hiking and I get lost, I stop myself and I'm like, I don't remember crossing a bridge. Why am I crossing a bridge? I need to not cross a bridge right now. What's going on? And I'm freaking out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
And
the wheels are turning. Oh my
So
God.
I was able to calm myself down. I like took a little bit of CBD and I was just like, all right, just backtrack, take your time, you can do this. So
All your
yeah.
nature instincts kick in. You're throwing things in the air, watching the wind.
Yeah, you're testing to see where to go, you know? You're like doing one of these.
That was actually was telling my friend that today she was on a hike and was not feeling it. So I was like helping her get back to her car. And I told her, I'm like, you know, you just started this. Once you start doing this more often, you're gonna like notice things. Like I legit like go and I notice like footprints and I'm like, oh, someone's passed by here in the last half hour. I'm just like, what? Like my Native
A duck
American.
was just present.
I knew somebody was watching me, and then I look over and I'm like, ah, a deer. Like, it's just like, I love that. I love that we're like we are part of nature, you know? Like, you just gotta pay attention.
100%. Every day we're further removed from it, you know? So it's good to get out.
Facts. Well, you guys know, I'm a medical marijuana patient, so I'm just gonna be smoking some of this today while we're talking.
Yeah.
But I don't know what everyone knows about like my journey with CBD. I don't know if you guys know what my journey was like with CBD. If you've watched anything from my last post, anything like that, I took Xanax from the time of being 16, and I took that. I'm 33 now, so I stopped. I haven't taken Xanax in like 6 years now. And it was all because of cannabis and CBD. I actually started using Charlotte's Web. That was like the first thing I ever heard of.
Yeah, they're the leaders. They're the forefront,
Yeah,
you know?
Major respect for their organization.
Nothing but respect for Charlotte's Web, dude.
Yeah, that was literally I used it exactly like I would my Xanax. Like I had all these really poor habits and just like was really like not addicted, but it was just a really bad coping mechanism that I had to have it on me all the time. So I literally was like, okay, I'm not going to have this with me anymore, this pill bottle. I'm going to switch it out to a bottle of CBD. And I'd have Charlotte's Web in my bra. And I worked at Breakwater Dispensary. So if anybody was at Breakwater while I worked there and I looked like I had a big lump on my chest, it was because I had a bottle of CBD.
You were packing heat.
No question. Ready for it. It's always near to your heart. You were like, oh, there it is.
Exactly. And like it helped get me through so much, like, you know, just like the baseline things of like social anxiety, especially like reincorporating myself like into working out, like when your heart rate spikes and maybe you might feel a little like scared from that and stuff like that. That's another time that I was using it. So it enabled me to actually start hiking again, because I stopped because I would get scared. I'd be by myself and like I told my story, but like that's why I keep it with me now, because it's like it's part of this whole routine, and it's just really has changed my life. You know, I don't take any pharmaceutical medication. I think the most I take was a Benadryl for like a little bit of an irritation from some pollen, but really like I don't take anything other than natural plant medicine, cannabis.
We always say, especially, you got to make it a part of your routine. You know what I mean? Especially, you have to be consistent and be diligent. I mean, taking CBD here and there, you're going to see these sort of short notice effects, but it's really over time that your endocannabinoid system really starts to utilize these foreign introduced cannabinoids, and that's really realigning, rebalancing. It's exactly what you experienced. I was in a similar situation, 14 to 18 years old. I was on Klonopin because doctors were like, you know, this is what you need. You are depressed. You have anxiety. This is what you need. And I took it for years. In hindsight, being 2020, looking back, you know, going back 15 years, if somebody was like, here's a tincture, my life would have been drastically different, you know, just as far as being able to lean on that versus sort of numbing the pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, and there, you know, there's definitely this sense of regret, I feel like. I don't know if you've experienced it where, I mean, you just kind of said you did, but like, why didn't we have this sooner? Like, there's so much, like...
I say that all the time. So, like, since, like, 15, 16 years old, I've been on Cymbalta, SSRIs, you know, try to manage my shit. Tried to go off them a bunch of times, and the side effects are, like, way scarier than anything I felt. You know, anxiety wise, I always say if I had CBD, if someone fucking told me what it could do naturally, like just having that extra support, like you said, like there are still days that you're feeling super anxious. On those days, I notice it's like this other voice inside of me that's just like, all right, like let's slow it down a second.
Chill
like,
it out, you know?
What's the problem? Like you kind of, it's just more manageable. It's like this extra support system that you have all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety, or it comes from an imbalance within you, right? So it's some kind of chemical imbalance, whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever the case may be. It's because something inside of you is imbalanced. That's why CBD is such a great advocate and ally, because it's going to seek to balance those imbalances. It's like you said, hindsight being 2020. Yeah. I wish I would have known, but now we know and we move forward. You know what I mean? Now you crush hikes and you know to pack your CBD with you so you don't fucking freak out.
All your animal friends got your back now. You're all one.
Yeah. Squirrel's like, your car is behind you. And you're like, oh my God, thank you so much.
It's like, but actually when I was on the hike, I kept hearing like a hawk. I just like, this has nothing to do with what we were talking about. But then like all of a sudden I kept hearing like this hawk call, and I'm like, yo, that's legit a hawk. Like I don't see hawks, but I know enough from like the standard sound clip of what a hawk is. And then next thing you know, you see the freaking hawk swoop down and grab a squirrel by its shoulders. And it's like the squirrel's just hanging like, fuck, man.
Fuck, yeah, like I fucked up.
Over for me. And I'm just like, oh shit, I just seen him get got.
Oh my God.
So like, as long as it wasn't me.
Yeah, you're good. I don't think there's a bird that's gonna come down and scoop a human up.
I
I'm fucking not enough CBD for that, bro. I'm done.
We're gonna catch you in the woods with like
indoors.
a fucking rocket launcher or a crossbow next time we see you out there.
Like, I'm fucking playing with that.
Oh, God, you're so funny.
Oh shit. So like when I started messing with like CBD, this was actually my grandmother. She was still alive, and I tell everybody this story. I don't care. My grandmother has been passed away for years now. But she had Alzheimer's. She was actually having mini strokes, so it was dementia. And we started basically smoking blunts around her, and she thought we were smoking cigarettes. And she's like, "Oh, you smoke cigarettes? I remember smoking them." And we would just like sit at the table and smoke blunts, and then we would realize that when the smoke is in her face, her stories become correct because she used to tell stories and they would be like
all over the place.
yeah, it would be a fragment. Like my grandmother was inappropriate. So
The
it would be
Best
like
kind of
a little bit
grandma,
about,
yeah.
You're like, what about the priest? The priest did this and this happened, and you're just like, what? And then
I
she
used to
tells
say to
like
my grandmother all the time, "You are so lucky you're fucking cute, or else someone would knock your ass out."
my grandmother, yeah, this is like, okay, I got to tell the story because like my high school principal called the house once and she was living here and she couldn't hear him on the other line and he was like calling to say like I got suspended. She picks up the phone and she goes, "Suck the pink part of my asshole," and hangs up on him. That's my grandma.
I am floored.
Amazing,
Floored,
dude.
dude.
Like,
Floored.
what do you do with that?
I'd be like,
Like,
this. I'd be like, yeah.
you're like, all right, great, we're sending her right home.
Dude, God, good luck. Oh my
What a
God.
fucking legend.
Yeah, that's pretty
When
dope.
we taught her how to use, like, she would remember a lot more. We would blow the THC in her face. She would remember things. We taught her how to use MySpace to give you an idea
Yeah,
of how
ages ago. Yeah, MySpace.
we got pictures of her wearing a Kangol hat. We taught her how to use a cell phone. It just was like we had a great time with her, and she had passed away. But around that time, that's when I actually found out about CBD because I'm like, yo, cannabis can do like crazy stuff, you know. This is like, how does this do this? And I took a class in New York at the CWBCE Expo, and I learned about CBD there, and it was just like this really crappy vape tincture. But as I actually wanted you guys to talk about like how you process your product, because the stuff I had so long ago, and that's what like once I realized how crap this stuff was that I put in my body, and I'm like, ew, I put that in my mouth.
We were on the same
Like,
page. We were literally on the same page. Before we really started experimenting with it, Kelsey and I were hearing all these stories about CBD, this, CBD, that. We're like, oh, let's try it. We tried probably 6 or 8, maybe 10 different companies like tinctures, where either it tasted like dirty bong water, or we went through a bottle in like 3 days. Because I was like, dude, are you feeling anything?
Yeah, it's like, let's just take more.
I don't feel anything. So we kind of just experienced shit CBD. More than likely, it may not have been full spectrum. Whatever the case may be, we didn't trust it. So then we started buying pounds of hair. I would decarb it. I'd infuse it into coconut oil, and we started filling capsules. And that's how we pretty much started. We only sold capsules for like 5 months. And then we switched over to using distillate. So I purchased kilos of distillate. So full spectrum distillate. We have a partner farm out in Colorado. It's 600 acres, hemp as far as the eye can see. They trace it from seed to the end product, and then they process it. You know, they cut down plants, they process biomass with ethanol extraction. And then you're left with what looks like honey, basically, or like big waxy chunks before I process it. And that is full spectrum. It comes between 85 and 95% cannabinoids, like 3% THC. It's really, really potent stuff. And then we use just a really healthy carrier fat, which is coconut oil. In our tinctures, it's fractionated coconut oil. with no other flavors, no additives, no ashwagandha, no melatonin, none of that other bullshit. All you really need is a full spectrum CBD with a healthy fat. And then in our capsules, it's just unrefined coconut oil mixed with CBD in a vegetable capsule. Again, no additives, no nothing.
That's
Super
dope.
simple, super simple, but healthy amounts of THC in there. Definitely below the threshold, but I think they usually fall between like 0.12 and 0.24% THC overall. So it's right in the middle, which is the sweet spot that you want to be in.
That's dope. And you guys are like, of course, everybody, I'm not sure if everybody's been following, but you guys are New Jersey based.
Yeah, Monmouth County. Kelsey and I both grew up in Monmouth County. We're our headquarters, like our lab, is in Neptune, New Jersey,
Okay.
just outside of Asbury Park.
That's dope. That's super dope. And you also make pet products as well. Now, that's something that, I know we're talking about kind of like humans and anxiety, but also, pets and
Of course.
anxiety. Just
Of course.
keep
It's
an
a
eye
real
on
thing.
them.
It's a real thing.
We are we're big dog people, and I mean, especially now, the amount of people that have been reaching out to us due to COVID and the change of schedule,
that change of routine.
Everyone's dog has just become their shadow, like right on
You
your
know?
heels. So the anxiety in dogs are like so in tune with their owners, like what's going on, just watching their every move.
Of
The
course.
anxiety is definitely spiked.
Dogs are the most intuitive creatures on the planet. They know what's going on before you even know what's going on. So you're feeling stressed, they're feeling stressed. I don't know if you know our background. We ran a pet kennel. Like, we managed a 200 dog kennel for 6 years before we quit that and started this company. Like, we have, our background is in rehabilitating and taking care of pets. Like, we have too much experience. We also manage the business. We had 25 people below us, but we really have a management, customer service, pet care background. Especially nowadays, more so people are rescuing dogs too, which is great. We love it. Adopt, don't shop. But a lot of times those dogs are coming with issues. So CBD can help transition into their new home, as well as kind of keeping them on an even keel as they adjust. Our boys take it for separation anxiety, arthritis, and then our bulldog really is not good with thunderstorms.
Okay.
Real loud noises like fireworks as well. They legalized fireworks recently, as you know.
Yeah.
So we'll use the tincture kind of acutely if we know that we're heading into a storm or something like that.
And how much, like, because there's one thing that I don't know too much about pet products.
Of course.
But what are some of like the standards that you have to uphold, if any, for pet-based CBD products? Like, what are some things? Also, what are some things that people should look for when they're purchasing for their pets? I feel like everyone pays attention to humans, but not their
Yeah,
it's a really gray market. It's almost like CBD companies take advantage of pet owners.
for sure.
So a common misconception is that the CBD that you would be taking and the CBD that your pet is taking is different. That is a false fact. It is not a fact at all. It's the exact same stuff. So the same tincture that we have, we give to our boys. It's the same stuff that Kelsey and I use. It's just a matter of dosage. So when it comes to pets, you want to start your pet around 20% of their body weight in milligrams, right? That's the perfect way. You find out what 10% is and you double it. Start there. You know your pet better than anybody, and then you just up if need be. It's better to start in the low end with kids, with dogs, and then adjust up than adverse.
Okay. So this brings me back to my dog Marley. Now I'm kind of feeling like, man, maybe somebody should have called the ASPCA on me.
Uh-oh.
Because she was a Doberman mix, so she was a huge dog. She was huge. She lived until she was 17, and she started getting sick around. You're gonna see how she lived until she was 17. Because she started getting sick. She had these tumors. She had everything, and I saw how well cannabis worked for my grandmother. So me not knowing anything, I'm like, I just had learned how to make canna coconut oil, and I'm like, we're gonna heal you, Marley. So I freaking would make milk bone treats and put infused peanut butter on them. And I noticed like she would get dopey if I gave her too much or stuff like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah, of
oh, so
course.
like, so what is this like? What about THC for dogs? Do you have any opinion about that? Do you know anything about that? Like,
My
I
God,
don't.
only freaking knucklehead personal experience. But small amounts, like the legal CBD that's testing under 3%, 0.3% is, totally fine. Like us, it's not there to intoxicate. It's just to make the products more effective. So the amount that we have in our product, doesn't knock anyone on their ass.
No, not at all. And like, it's important for a pet to utilize a full spectrum product. They shouldn't be using broad spectrum, or especially not isolate. Those are both not going to be as therapeutically as effective, or just good for your pet's endocannabinoid system. To be perfectly honest with you, it can cause even a worse imbalance. So you definitely want to stick with full spectrum. Now, as far as giving your pet THC, I wouldn't recommend it. Not generally. I mean, R.I.P. for sure. I mean, yeah.
Carly's
I'm
like,
gonna
don't listen to him. I loved it.
Yeah, Marty's like, shut up, you bitch.
She used to like, when she was like, because she was the house dog, she was the hippie dog. And so when she was a puppy, like we would all have like piles of like, broken up bud on the table, and she would come through and just sloop.
Dustbuster.
Scoop
Oh
you.
my god.
Oh,
Yeah, this dog may
no.
have had a naturally large tolerance to cannabis from, what I would consider exposure.
Yeah.
Like there are some dogs that can hang, no question, but the average dog will be floored by anything above what was in like a normal. I mean, they actually do make some very low THC treats, but generally it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's not, anything more or the other. It's 1 part THC, 1 part CBD. Whereas right now, our products are generally 20-to-1, 20 parts CBD, 1 part THC.
And are your products, your pet products, are they just treats? Or are they, you have tincture? Like what is your pet product?
Yeah, so besides making the dog treats, our capsules that we offer, the 30 milligram capsules and the 1200 milligram tincture, are totally pet friendly.
Yep,
Okay.
our consumable products are for humans and for pets. We're trying to break the stigma that you guys should be taking something different. Like the same dose you give yourself in the morning, you give your dog basically probably half that dose, more than likely.
Yep.
It's really neat, and that's like the common thing. People will sell CBD on their website, and then they'll market the pet CBD and mark up the price on it, even though it's no different at all. It's a marketing trick that most people will fall into, because like you and I and Kelsey, we would do anything for our fucking dogs. You know what I mean? I would do anything for our boys. And if it's like, oh, this could help his back legs, I'd be like, oh, here's all my money. You know what I mean? Like, take it, dude. You need my blood? Like, take it.
That's funny you said that, because actually I was talking to somebody today, and she was discussing, so why I'm mentioning all these pet questions, because it was fresh on my mind. But she's like, I looked up a brand of CBD, and it was a 1-ounce bottle, and it was $120 for a 1-ounce bottle, and it was it couldn't have been that high in dosage either. Like I want to say maybe 300 for the total 1-ounce bottle, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Like, this market is the Wild West. Like, it's all over the map.
It's kind of insane. I mean, I can say for a fact that we are the most affordable New Jersey-based CBD company by a long shot. In fact, three months ago, we raised the potency on all of our products by 50% and kept it at the same price. Like, we are here to make this shit affordable. I don't want you. This is an alternative path. How can you take it if you can't afford it? You know what I mean? We want to make this shit affordable. So if you do any kind of market research and put us, as far as comparison goes, we outshine everybody. Like, we even outprice Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, well, Charlotte's Web was like ridiculous. Like that was part of why I had wanted to become a medical patient, because the bottle that I was getting, it was $75 a month. I would try to wait. I would try to stretch it out. I would wait until they had a sale, like the buy one get one. Then when I knew when they were changing their label, like it was almost like extreme couponing for
Yes, of
Yeah.
CBD.
course. Yeah, we had
You're
to,
like budgeting.
but that causes you anxiety because then you're like
Yeah.
stressed about having to purchase it. You're like, yeah, I could have got it for this. It's like, no way. Like, we don't really devalue our product. Like, we throw more value into it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's affordable. It's like the best price you're gonna get. And then we raise the potency by 50%. So we just want to hook
That's
people
dope.
up.
Oh yeah.
What are the dosages that you offer for your products?
So it's 1,200 milligrams for $60, or 2,500 milligrams for $100. The
Okay.
2,500 milligram is a 2-ounce bottle. It's the same oil, just comes in a larger bottle.
Okay.
And then our capsules are 30 milligrams. They come in increments of 30. It's 30 for 50, and then we offer discounts the more you get.
Okay.
And then we have 2 different topical balms. They're 1,000 milligrams each. Those are only 45 a piece. And then
Okay.
our dog biscuits are $25, and they are 100 milligrams to 22 a bag.
Oh, okay. That's really good too. Um, I have to ask you this. So
Sure.
I was researching, I help people with CBD all day, and something you said earlier struck me. But we looked at this one brand, and a chiropractor had recommended it to her, and I checked it out, and one of the filler oils was vitamin E.
In,
Like,
in a consumable,
yeah,
That's
vitamin E,
weird.
I don't like
right?
that. I don't
That's
like that at all.
really weird.
Like, we use vitamin E in our topical products because it's great. It's absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful for your skin. But like in a
That's
tincture,
very
or
strange.
that's
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
that's like you turn and run. It's like, get the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I don't think so.
that really struck me odd. That's why I thought it was important for I think it's important for people to know, like, what are the oils that you should look for. Like, you guys mentioned you use MCT oil, but like, what do you know which ones you should? I know vitamin E, but like, what
I
are
mean,
some things people should stay away from?
generally, there's a real common misconception that hemp seed oil and CBD oil are the same thing. It's like, if you're going on Amazon and purchasing it, you're actually just buying hemp seed oil, which is not actually CBD. So we use hemp seed oil in our topical products because it's great for your skin. But as far as therapeutic benefit to it, there's no therapeutic benefit to it. So usually if I see hemp seed oil in the consumable, as far as the ingredient, I usually get a little like fishy. Charlotte's Web uses olive oil, which is a good carrier oil as well. Really, you want it to be either fractionated coconut oil, MCT oil, or olive oil. Those are the 2 you want to choose from. Anything else, I would be a little weirded out by.
We're big into doing research too. We like
Yeah.
to look at the labels and get back and crack the code on everything.
It's like, why are you putting this into your stuff? You know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to mask? Is it that your distillate tastes like shit? Is it that something else tastes like shit? You know what I mean? It's just kind of sketchy. Another thing that we see a lot too is like, so a lot of companies offer THC-free products, and they're so proud of it, and it's like boastful for them. And that's when I usually see that you're really only in it for the money. You don't give a fuck about your consumer. You don't really see the therapeutic benefit of cannabis and CBD. You're just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah. Because we do think that a big part of this comes with educating people. There's the stigma out there against THC. You just have to, take the time to talk to people and explain to them why the THC needs to be in there.
I mean, it's literally a scientific fact. Without it, the entourage effect can't take. It's literally a fact.
Guys frozen.
Fact. It's an isolate is such a common occurrence on the marketplace. When we first started it, like 2 years ago, we would go to like vendor tables, and we'd walk up and say, "Hey, what kind of CBD is this?" Like doing sneaky snake kind of research, And
We thought we were so slick.
yeah, we're so cool, we're so
No,
slick,
we
you
were
know,
so
like we're high as kites going in there like, so what's this about, you know? And I would say 9 out of 10 vendors, all the first thing that came out of their mouth was, it's THC free. Everything's THC free. And they were like very proud of it. And Kelsey and I were like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Come on. Like, you don't know shit. You're a 60-year-old Bob who thought that this is going to be lucrative, and you bought into it with your shitty family when you have no idea of the therapeutic benefit or the hustle. You know what I mean? It's sorry, that was like my feelings coming out,
I
but
really
I
enjoyed
see
that.
it
Your
all the
shitty
time.
family.
You know, you see it all the time.
Yeah, it is a very mysterious, very greedy market. So we definitely have our work cut out for us, but we love it.
Yeah, and I appreciated the CBD you sent me. It's actually the kind that I like to use during the day because it still keeps me alert without being like drugged out.
Yeah, that's the whole goal.
Sometimes you want to feel drugged out, but
that's why they have
there is
cannabis.
a time and a place.
Yeah, don't look to Daily Dose for that. No way. Look to the cousin. Look to the
you
cousin
come
of
to me.
Yeah, go to her. I'll sound him like this. Yeah, go that way.
A beautiful
Send them my
relationship.
I'll say, talk to me off camera. You know, like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I'm glad to know that you guys, like, when I saw the pictures of you like working in the lab and stuff and making the stuff yourself, like, what do you think the issue is with like I personally, I don't like white label
Oh,
companies.
dude, I could go off on white labeling.
You do.
No, we don't have an hour.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like selling Arbonne or like, you know, like doTERRA oils. Like, you're basically a multi-level marketer at that point. You have no skin in the game. All you want to do is buy it from somebody, put your label on it, and then resell it. You have no interest in helping people heal. You just want to make money. Mm-hmm. You are a piece of shit in my eyes, truthfully. As somebody who literally hand makes every single one of our products, I was in the lab for 8 hours today, sweating my ass off. We filled 80 tinctures. I made 2 batches of balms. We filled capsules. Like, we are putting the work in, you know, and at the same time, this person is just buying it on the internet and reselling it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we hate white label. People ask us even, can we white label your products? I say, absolutely not. We are a brand. We are brand identity. I am proud to call it Daily Dose CBD. This is my tincture. You're not putting your label on my shit. I did all this work to figure it out. Why would I allow that?
You know, and half the time when we do get approached with white label opportunities, like, those people don't even ask us any questions about our product, about us, you know, the process behind what goes into making this. It's like, do you really care? Or are you just hearing that CBD is the next booming market and you want to get in now?
That's all it is. It's a lot of greed.
It is greed.
Yeah,
it is. You see what people charge for stuff. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's that was actually one of my first events I did. I did a CBD brunch in Keyport at I believe she just closed her doors, but Espresso Joe's. And a gentleman who had Parkinson's came up to me and his wife, and they went, you know, we bought this bottle from you today. It wasn't your brand, it was another brand. But they're like, we bought this bottle from you today. But, you know, what's the difference between this bottle that we bought from you for $70 and the one that I paid $500 for from this guy that I met? And they showed me it, and I went, nothing other than, like, you got ripped off.
Yeah.
And
like, just the price.
like, it kills me. And I've seen CBD. I don't know who's buying it, but like, I went and I found something that was $500, and I'm like, what the hell can make it? What would even make it worth $500? Like,
dude, I feel bad charging $100. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
$500.
You can buy a shitty car for $500.
Like, this shit better cure me, like, tomorrow.
Yeah, like, I better be Benjamin Buttoning after using this fucking oil. Like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, like, 16 years old, no facial hair, like, fresh and ready to go. I paid $500 for that shit.
Yeah, I just like that was when I knew. I'm like, wow, okay. And then when I saw it on the doors at like Quick Check, and then I saw it at the gas station, and then I saw, you know, I'm gonna name some companies. I don't care, like Canaway, can't stand Canaway, can't stand you. Canaway, I cannot stand you. I don't
Yeah.
care if you know that. Like, you cannot go away. There, I put it like that.
Oh my
But
God.
really, like MLMs and CBD,
Bad news. It's just like hemp works. It's the same shit, dude. It's tiered, multi-level mark. Dude, don't even get me started on hemp works. But it's really, really bad. And that's why we are the exact, like, we're the antithesis of that. I am the exact opposite of that. We only partner with small businesses and we want to see them succeed. Like, we literally only partner with, like, people we want to see succeed. So we get our brand in there. We try and increase their sales. We literally grow together, and that's what we're all about: organic growth, local growth, versus just bullshit, you know.
yeah, yeah. And are you guys only like in New Jersey stores, or are you all over the country? Are you in any other stores or
No,
anything like that?
Not yet.
so we did update just in time for COVID. Thank God we got our website up and running, and we're able to bring on merchant processing, and everything can run through our website now. But as far as like local retailers, we are only in like really small
Local
retail
shops.
stores.
Yeah, all New Jersey based, Monmouth County, Ocean County, and then we're out in Bordentown in
Okay.
2 locations as well.
All right. Well, can you tell some people, just like a couple of stores, if they wanted to go buy your products, like where they could go other than your website?
Hell
To
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so we have a Pilates studio. It's called Modern Pilates in Manasquan, New Jersey, that sells our products. We are in a dog grooming studio called Dapper Dog in Ocean Grove.
It's
Um,
awesome. Really, really
Yeah,
cute dog spa in
amazing.
Ocean Grove. They crush it over there. They groom our dogs and they murder it. Like, only people I trust with our dogs. We're in a few yoga studios. We're in one in Union Beach called Trinity Wellness. We're in another yoga studio up near Keyport called Align Yoga and Strength. We're in a yoga studio out in Bordentown called Sweat with Soul. They're really cool. They do booty yoga. It's like really intense. They're nuts. It's really cool. We're in a hair salon out in Bordentown as well called Salon 105.
We are in a vegan hair salon in Seagirt. It's called Wild Heart. And then we have partnered with a massage therapist. Her name is Dina. She is called Kinetric Wellness, and that is in Ocean, New Jersey.
Yep, and then we just signed 2 acupuncturists as well. One in Seagirt. It's called Be Well Acupuncture. She crushes it. She's doing a lot of topical. She murders the game. And then she referred us to another acupuncturist whose wholesale order went out today, actually, up in Nutley, New Jersey. Deanna Carell is her name.
We shipped up north today.
Yes, that's the furthest we've reached up north. Yeah, we're getting up to you. You're gonna see me in the woods next time, like.
Yo, watch out for them hawks, bro. That's dope. You guys are all over a variety of shops, like, and services and stuff like that. So that's really cool, because I know that purchasing your CBD, not necessarily everybody wants to go online and purchase it. And then
we try
also
to encourage people to go. Like, we're in another spot called Pulp in Asbury Park. That's a juice bar, and they serve kick-ass food too. So it's like, hey, if you're local and you're coming down, like, and you need it, go to Pulp. Grab the best smoothie you're ever gonna have, and while you're there, grab a tincture too. So we try to encourage people to go to the shops as well, just because they're all kick-ass locations. Like, we wouldn't be there and supporting their business if we didn't trust them and believe in their brand as well.
that's dope. I appreciate that. Like, you know, me, I'm a handcrafted kind of type of person. I appreciate the love that goes into it. And I was about to say this dude's name and butcher it, but I completely believe that your energy that you put into this is changing like it on a molecular level than just making it much more, you know, potent of a medicine for people. Like when I would trim plants, I would say like, you know, I had my headphones on, I was in the zone, I'm trimming, and I'm like, you're gonna help somebody, and I hope you do the best job ever. You're gonna heal someone. And I'm like, I don't know, like what if the person that got it, like they smoked that joint and boom, their cancer was gone, and it was because I was just being
Dude,
a good human being. Like,
I love that.
You are out of your
I
mind,
love
dude.
that.
Out of your mind. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man,
What are you
we're
barking at?
big believers. Everything with intention. So whatever we can do, we send those bottles off with little whispers. Go make someone really happy.
When I feel the tinctures, I say every single time, "Be good boys," and then I fill them up. You know,
I
be good
like
boys.
that. I
Do
like
good.
that.
Do good things.
It's really, really, really important though. Like, you know, to have good people making good products, and that's why I like to talk about MLMs a whole bunch more. Like, I know I'll mention it here and there, but it's just like I really try to deter people from like, if you need a business thing to do, figure out something else.
Yeah.
MLM.
It's a trap, and it really
Yeah.
it sinks a lot of people, and I hate to see it. I'll post like I'm in a bunch of like anti MLM groups actually, because like the
Mhm.
memes are fire. Just 'cause it's great, it's absolutely wonderful. But I really, really, really am on the same page. Like we don't, if you're in a midlife crisis or that 25-year-old crisis, you see other people starting business, don't buy into Sensi or Arbonne or doTERRA or even some of the CBD MLMs like you had mentioned. Like it's not your own business. You're not a CEO. You do anything else, please. Anything else, from one handcrafted entrepreneur to you. Please don't buy into an MLM.
Yeah, seriously, like there's so much more that you could do. If you're looking for an opportunity in CBD, like, you know, even reaching out to someone like you guys and saying, hey, I want to learn something. You never know. Like, maybe you guys don't need that now, but you never know down the line. Like, learn a real
Absolutely.
learn a real skill when it comes to cannabis.
I
Don't just learn the
I would do
surface.
fucking jumping jacks if we ever received a message like that. Like, if you're genuinely interested and like you want to learn,
Like, come shadow us for
awesome.
the day, dude. I'll tell you how to run a successful business as well as one that is cannabis based. Because, I mean, that's what we really want to. At the end of the day, come 2-3 years from now, we're going to be having another company that's going to be called Daily Dose THC. And we'll have 2 S Corps, and we'll just be full THC as well. I mean, that's the full path that we want to go down. And same thing, it'll be all about education, making it affordable, making it proper, clean, knowing where it's coming from, full transparency from seed to distillate, genetics, show you where it's made, watch how we make it, watch you eat it, watch you enjoy it. You know, we want that. We want
Yeah.
that shit, dude.
That's the real, that's the wave of the future. Like, my journey now is to really get people to understand that, like, the new world that we're going to have to live in is going to be about you being as educated and as self-reliant as possible. So if you're not understanding how your body works, you're not understanding this plant medicine, then you really need to jump on it now, because putting your life in the hands of these doctors and these pharmaceutical companies it's not going to serve you. Assuming that these people know what's best for you when you're the one living you 24/7, 365 is a little bit disassociated, if you ask me. Like, you have to learn about your endocannabinoid system. You need to learn basic biology about yourself. You need to know your anatomy, your physiology. You need to be educated about yourself as much as you would learn about your car and how to do an oil change. You need to understand that about all of this: the food you put in your body, the things you smoke, the tinctures you try, and all of that is what's going to create that homeostasis. And
Yes.
you have to get to that. Like, that is health. That is where you need to find that balance. And just thinking, just by taking CBD every once in a while, you're not going to achieve that homeostasis, you know.
You're
Even,
like, that's right
on
from,
the head.
right out of our fucking lips, truly. We always say, like, CBD is not the end-all be-all. It's just a really good ally. Like, truly, it's not going to make you this miraculous person. It takes mental health. It takes, you know, exercising. It takes eating right. It takes that full wellness team. It's just that CBD is a good ally in rebalancing unbalanced systems, or helping, increasing cellular communication, enhancing your endocannabinoid system, rebalancing, looking for that homeostasis. But like you said, you have to know what you're putting into your body. You're literally like so on point. Like, boom.
Thank you.
Boom. Roasted.
But it's really like it is like we've just been trained, just society in general, like the doctor is the gatekeeper of your body, and it's like the doctor is not the gatekeeper of your body. You are. Why are you handing this off to them? And I worked for a chiropractor, and he always would say, he's like, you know, Jade, that's why it's called the practice of medicine, because they're just practicing. There's no set rules for, you know, your physiology is not the same as the next. As much as we want to think that our chemistries are, like, it's not. We're very, very, very individual. And that's the beauty of plant medicine, is that if you're doing the right things, like, and especially I'll say with cannabis, there's low risk involved. If you mess up, you're just going to get too high or too sleepy. You're not going to end, you might end up in the hospital if you call 911. Please don't call 911 if you eat too many brownies. Just take some CBD and lay down.
Like, even that shit out.
Like, you're not dying, I swear. Play this video back at any point if you think you're too high.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's why we love it. Like, I'd rather fucking have to take a nap after taking too much of something than be throwing up all night. Like, you know, consider what you're putting into your body and what, like, society says is okay.
Yeah, seriously, that's
like,
it's just
reevaluate everything.
And it's like I really feel like a large portion of it is just from, like, the smell. Like, if there wasn't which you need the smell, that's part of the medicine.
But flavonoids, terpenes, it's necessary. In fact, it's so efficient that they'll use terpenes that they find in cannabis in other topicals and things like that, because that's how effective they are at breaking the blood-brain barrier or getting through the skin barrier. Like, the cannabis plant is just, it's so perfect. There's so many uses for it. It's just preposterous.
You can eat it. You can put it on your body. It's fuel.
You know, it's the stigma that we have to break still. Even with CBD, I mean, we're getting there. It's becoming more mainstream and less faddish, even if it is still a fad in a sense, you know. But we're tailing into the age of, like, where, like, the research is starting to come forward, and they're starting to get more funding, and who knows what cannabinoids. Dude, they discovered a cannabinoid that was 30 times more potent than THC like a month ago. You saw that, right? It's like, I mean, cannabinoid chemistry and cannabinoid science only dates back, like, they discovered the endocannabinoid system in the early 90s. Like, we weren't even aware. And then we didn't discover the second endocannabinoid until a few years after that. It's just like, we don't know. You know, nobody knows that you produce your own endocannabinoids that are reacting with these phytocannabinoids that's going to rebalance you. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what anandamide. Nobody knows arachidonoglycerol. Nobody knows that these things are in you and are literally designed to work with this plant. Our system is named after the plant. It's not the other way. You know what I mean? Like, we're literally the endocannabinoid system. It's just preposterous.
Yeah, it's insane. And that's actually a good point that you say that, like, it's inside of us, and it's, you know, because that's something that I try to, like, reassure people who are moms, or, you know, things like, not trying to say that I'm advocating smoking during pregnancy or anything, disclaimer, whatever the lawyer wants.
So PC.
It's like, I think that comes up, like, she did not agree to say this.
But it's just like breast milk does have the natural endocannabinoids in
Endocannabinoids loaded with it. They found so much of it, literally that and colostrum. But
It's so important.
it's you're starting your baby's endocannabinoid system with
it.
by balancing it literally from the most natural source. It's
Yeah.
preposterous.
Yeah, that's why I find it so strange that, you know, the smoking maybe I don't agree with or whatever, or you can say that about the smoking part, but actually having that as medicine where my friend, she had a child, she gave birth, they wanted her to breastfeed, she's in so much pain. They're like, "Oh, well here, take Percocet." And she says, "Well, I have to breastfeed." And they're like, "And?"
Like,
Like,
even bat an eye, dude.
Yeah.
But like ask her if she can take CBD while breastfeeding, and it's like
they're gonna
pin her
send
to the
Bananas.
wall.
Yeah, bananas. It's
they're gonna
bananas.
call Child Protective Services because you wanted to use
Yeah.
CBD, you
Yep,
know, like,
hothead.
like yeah, seriously.
But we
There's
get questions like that too, and like then again, I cannot say whether you can or not. You know, from a legal standpoint or a liability standpoint, we always say, you know, do your independent research. But in all reality, there hasn't been studies. No pregnant women are volunteering. Like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get pregnant and take CBD for 9 months, see what happens. It's like the research is just not there yet. You know. And that's the biggest problem, and I don't know if it ever will get there. You know, to be perfectly honest with you.
the problem with a lot of the research too is that when they do research on people, they try to they don't ever take into account people that had been that are tobacco smokers with things. So like when they were doing research about cannabis usage and something else, I know I had a point to this.
Oh no, is that half a joint?
It might have missed me, but
I'm going
but
back
like
in the woods.
but they like I'm so relaxed. That's CBD.
Yeah.
Dude, you're killing it.
Like, yeah, seriously. But like they don't have enough quality information, I'd say, at least in
Yeah,
Exactly. It's just not
that
there yet. We're big
it,
research people.
yeah,
yeah.
we're like the Google king and queen. Like, and even if somebody comes to us with a question that we don't know the answer to, you know, I'll say, hey, I don't know the answer to that question, but give me 48 hours, and I'm gonna do as much research as I physically can, and then we'll have an honest discussion about it. You know, you bring me your research, I'll bring you my research, and then let's fucking figure it out together. That's the most important. Is we have to break this sort of stigma. Like, we have parents who use it for their kids, whether they be on the spectrum, whether it be behavioral or PTSD, whatever the case may be. Some parents are like embarrassed to ask us about it. You know, it's almost like this stigma of like, I don't know if I can, when in all reality, like we had spoken about earlier, if any of us were having access to this in our teen years or perhaps even earlier than that, who knows how much better our mental health would have been as we went through that era. You know, because from 14 to 22, I was drastically mentally unhealthy. And it was because of the advice of other people and people I thought that knew what was best for me and my body, listening to them, taking things every day before, you know, you have that sort of awakening where you're like, fuck, you know, like, no, like I need to figure out me, you know, and then move forward.
Yeah. That's the damn truth. The listening to other people that you think that, but they also also in the same sense, a lot of the people that we're taking advice from have no clue what that they didn't. This was not even known. So it's like
It's tough.
Yep.
It's tough. You can't look back like
really is.
that, you know.
Yeah, you're just like, damn it, man. Like, I mean, I know I was an asshole. Like, I was an asshole from age like 14 to not that long ago, but like
Oh my god.
but like really like the self-awareness to know that hey, this isn't working, with this has to change, you know, is really important. I think somebody did ask about, do you have anybody who that you know of that is epileptic that uses your product?
Yeah, we actually have a few people that are epileptic that utilize our CBD. Granted that they are also on anti-seizure medications. We'd never recommend replacing one without the other. However, it will increase, cellular communication. It's a great anti-inflammatory. And it's also a great anticonvulsant and an anti-epileptic. So it's just a good team to have for your endocannabinoid system, in addition to the phenobarbital or Keppra or whatever else you're taking. Once again, I would advise speaking to your physician and doing your own independent research when if you were thinking about like really making that kind of change or transition to off your one medication onto the other. If anything, you want to do it diligently. Gradual. Self-awareness is definitely key to that. I would just maintain your normal routine and just add CBD to it.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that's good to know. Because I know I've had people like ask me, like especially when I first started coming out, like they were like, well, how much should I take? What should I? And I'm like, it's really gonna like depend on you, because
He
like
said, I was told no cannabinoids with my meds. That's very interesting. I would definitely do more research. I'm not really quite too sure. If you want to private message us, let me know what exact medication you're taking. I don't want to like take up too much time, but we would love to have a discussion with you, Ray Mack. And we can talk about that privately for sure. But generally, there's no conflict, especially with an anti-epileptic. Usually they work hand in hand.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say this though, because they do work both on the same CYP receptors, or the CYP pathways, that if anything, the doctor may be saying to delay the time in which you're taking the medication with the CBD. But I don't know about having no I personally have never heard no cannabis.
Yeah, no cannabinoids. I haven't heard that either. I would have to do more research on it, to be perfectly honest. But that's just more, gives us an opportunity to learn. So
we're into it.
Yeah, I'm into it. I already looked. He wrote down the med. I'm gonna screenshot it so I can research it afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for asking that question, Ray. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it, Ray. We'll get some answers for you, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna hold on. Let me check the time. Okay, we're down to our last couple
That's it.
minutes.
Yeah, it's good though. It's been a good hour. I can't believe an hour has passed.
Yeah, I always get stressed out. I'm like, what am I gonna talk about for an hour? And then I'm like, I just end up talking.
Hanging out.
Yeah, we basically just seshed. It's like when you sesh and all of a sudden it's like, dude, I was supposed to be at work at like 1, and you're like, oh fuck, dude, it's 4:30.
I'm not ready.
It's like, oh, dude, Mike's so busy.
I guess just let if you're having any type of promotions, anything like that, just let people know your website. Let everybody know what you got going on. I want them to be able to get stuff from you. Shout out, do your thing.
Of course. So, obviously, we're on Instagram. Catch us there. We do giveaways all the time. Daily Dose CBD Inc. Our website, full e-commerce platform. You can purchase everything on our website. Pet products, human products, the full shebang. That's www.dailydosecbdinc.com. We are the most affordable full-spectrum CBD company based out of New Jersey. We actively give back to our community. Last month, we donated to Kids, which is a local youth development program where they actually go to sort of impoverished areas, and they actually try to teach the youth to channel their energy in more positive ways through yoga, through meditation, increasing mental health, breath work, things like that. It's an organization we really, really love. This month, we raised money for Asbury Park Dinner Table. They are a coalition of Asbury Park restaurants that feed families out of their own pocket. They formed a 501c3. They take donations, they make meals, and they give it out to Asbury Park families. So we raise money for them. Next month, we're going to do another raffle where we're going to raise money for another